welcome back to my channel. So I hate saying that, if I'm being truthfully frank with y'all. But anyways, how are we doing today? What's going on? Did we eat? Did we get a good night's rest? Are we having a great productive day? Did we start our day with affirmations? Did we meditate? What's going on? Did someone try to piss you off and you held your cool? So give yourself on a pat on the back. Let me know what's going on. Just leave it in the comments. Today I'm doing pretty well. Can't complain so far, Here talking to you guys, so it's always going to be a great day when I film for you guys. And as you can see from the title of this video, we'll be talking about dropping toxic friends, okay? And I'm not even going to talk too much. I'm just going to get right into it. But before we even start getting into the details, let's say our affirmations for today. And so today's affirmation will be, I am deserving of love and respect in all my relationships. And it's because we are. So let's just say it again. I am deserving of love and respect in all my relationships. So, for one, what is a toxic relationship, right? Someone who is unsupportive, who manipulates you, can be a narcissist, who can be extremely selfish, who, is more of a, take relationship. They just take from you and, they give nothing in return. And it could just be a relationship that makes you feel unfulfilling. It can make you feel self-doubt. They can just make you feel very negative. Maybe even when you get around them, your spirit just doesn't feel right. Maybe, when you tell them things in confidence, they throw it right back at your face consistently all the time. Those are just many different sides of a toxic relationship, right? Toxic relationships can have so many different sides. It can come in so many shapes and forms. And sometimes you might be so blinded in a relationship, and I'm not just talking intimate, but I'm also saying like friends and family, that you don't even understand or know that you have a toxic relationship in your life, right? Because sometimes it could be, you can be blinded by a toxic relationship because you think that, because they're family, that this is natural, this is normal, that is okay. Or maybe because if you guys been friends for a very long time, like for me, majority of my friends are all like 4-year plus friendships, right? So sometimes I even struggled with letting go of certain friends because we have been friends for years without realizing that our friendship is what's holding me back from getting to where I want to be, right? When we first want to talk about toxic relationships, we just want to first talk about recognizing exactly what it is and what those signs are. Being in a toxic relationship, especially, I feel like the worst toxic relationships are the ones, matter of fact, they're all bad. Because I was going to say the ones that's like your friends and family, but truth be honest, girl, I can't even talk. Babe, I can't even talk. To be honest, I don't know, because intimate relationships, if we all sleeping together, having someone in you that is toxic, baby, we're gonna talk about that in another video. But friends and family, it could be even worse because they're always around you, or literally because you cherish that relationship because it's intimate in a different way. It's intimate and emotional and mental connection. Not saying that intimate relationships with a significant other are not as intimate, but you know what they say, like a breakup with your best friend is worse than a breakup with your boyfriend because it's your best friend. Like, who wants to have to cut a friend off? You understand? Like, relationships, you can kind of, intimate relationships, you can kind of expect or know that there's a good 50-50 chance, especially when you're young, that it's going to end, that there's going to be a breakup, that they're going to betray you, or whatever the case may be. But friends and family, especially when you've been around them for so long, you kind of don't expect it, you never see it coming, right? Because you just don't expect that from a friend or family. But I'm here to tell you, expect everyone to betray you. Just say it. Just put that out there. Expect everyone to do something wrong to you. Expect everyone to do you wrong. If the price is right, babe, they'll do it. You just got to expect it. It's just human nature, okay? Nothing personal. But I was mentioning that maybe, intimate relationships could be worse. But, every type of relationship is intimate. So, but because, it could be very hard on your mental and emotional health, right? Like, Imagine trying to do something great in your life and you have someone around you telling you you can't do that, telling you, oh, that's too hard, oh no, that's too much, oh no, that don't even make sense. Like, how are you even gonna pull that off? Like, oh, you making that much? Like, you think you're ever gonna make that much money? Like, that's a joke. Like, someone laughing at your goals and dreams when you confide in them to actually tell them whatever it is. Or imagine someone, like, when someone does you wrong or make you feel away, they're always manipulating you to make you feel like you're tripping, or you're wrong for feeling that the way that you felt, even though you can know for a fact that, or maybe you don't, but all feelings are entitled to some type of respect, no matter what it is, right? Like, because you are entitled to your feelings in the first place. We are humans, and we are, by nature, we are built and made to feel our emotions, right? And so imagine having someone around you telling you that your feelings aren't valid, that you're always bugging, or you're always tripping, or you're always wrong, even when you know you're right? Just imagine having people just constantly trying to tear you down and just being unsupportive, right? And I'm here to even tell you that even when you have friends around you that are unsupportive, even if it's just for your personal growth, like, let's say you're not even trying to go for the moon and the stars, but maybe you want to start reading more, right? Maybe you want to start listening to more positive podcasts. Maybe you want to gain a closer relationship to God. Maybe you want to just do things for your own personal growth. Let me explain something to you, okay? When people bring their negative nonsense towards you and try to manipulate you or make you feel bad for wanting to just do better with your life, it is nothing. It's nothing against you. And you have to understand that. And that's why even in my video on positivity and mindfulness and meditation, it's 2 different videos, but check them out if you have the time. You have to understand that even people are being negative and manipulating you and making you feel like, they're not there for you, they're unsupportive, and they don't want you to grow, and or maybe you shouldn't be trying to grow, or whatever people are trying to make you feel like. It's so many things these days, but personally, I'm a person who do not hang around a lot of people, so I don't even know what a lot of that stuff looks like now. I just remember what it felt like when I had to go through the same issues, right? When it came to people, it is nothing against you. It has nothing to do with you, right? So just always keep that in mind, right? Like, even if you have parents, say you have parents, especially Caribbean parents, I know for a fact that they want you to go to school to become a lawyer or doctor. You're not a lawyer or doctor, you're unsuccessful. Plain and simple, right? Like, my dad is the same way. Like, always pushing school on you, always want you to get a doctorate and get this degree, and but when you start to really understand who you are and you know yourself for who you are, you start to really develop your own beliefs, and that's extremely important, right? But you have to understand that when you develop these beliefs, everyone is not going to even understand why you develop the belief that you have, right? Especially your family, right? And so I say that to say that when these people show that they're unsupportive, that they're manipulative, that they're, that they're just not there for you, that they don't understand you, it is nothing against you, right? Because these are the same people. Everyone has hopes and dreams and goals. Everyone has something that they wish, especially older people, right, that they wish they would have strived for, that they wish they didn't waste their time working at a job and going to school and getting themselves in debt. They wish they would have did something differently. They wish they had a certain amount of education to do something else. They wish they were in different rooms and different places and all these other things. Everyone have all these different wishes and fulfillments, but you know what makes the successful people successful and the people who are not successful unsuccessful is that you have the people that just go out there and do it, right? And so even when it comes to your personal growth, when you are trying to change yourself, but for the better, you're trying to change your mindset, you're trying to change your habits, you're trying to, just generally change your lifestyle and where you are in life because you're unhappy with it, people are not going to understand that, because they're going to be like, well, what makes you different from me? Because we come from the same place, and we do, and I grew up with you for so long, and we've been friends for this long, and I ain't never see you even talk about this, and I ain't never hear you want to do this, and I ain't never ever and it's like, okay, and who cares, because I'm doing it now. because I want to do it now. And so what's the point? And so I say that to say, like, people are so used to who you used to be. They're so used to you picking up the phone all the time, being there for them. They're so used to you going to every single event. They're so used to, if you need something, you're a drive away, you're a phone call away. If you need a vent, you could just sit on the phone with them for hours and hear them talk about their nonsense. Like, they're so used to those things, and that's who they love you for, right? And people without understanding or knowing that they do or say those things out of fear, because not only are they scared of losing you, when it comes to your friends and family, they're scared of losing that part of you that they love so much about you. But also, when it comes to family, they're scared of seeing you fail, right? Because one of the reasons why they never went after what they wanted to really go after in life is because they were scared they were going to fail. They couldn't believe that they can do it. And so from a place of, believing that you can do it, but still believing that you can't because they didn't go out there and do it, they're trying to hold you back out of a place of fear. Because when you are changing for yourself and you are doing better for yourself and you are changing your mindset, you're not thinking like everybody else. You want to just go on a different path than everybody else. Everybody else going right, you want to go left, right? It makes people scared, right? And what kind of kills me about that type of fear is that instead of people getting on the same bandwagon as you, they just don't. And even with that, it goes to show the lack of belief that they have within themselves, right? Like, people honestly don't believe that they deserve better. People don't believe that, the riches and this and that and certain lifestyles is actually meant for them, right? Like, people really believe that is only for certain people. People genuinely believe that. People don't believe that they deserve love. People don't believe they deserve success. People don't believe that they deserve a trusting and loving friendship, relationship, no matter where it is or where it comes from. People don't believe those things, right? And so they go to themselves and say, like, you want those things? Are you kidding me? Like, if it wasn't meant for me, right? And nobody said it was never meant for them. It was all in their own head, right? But if it wasn't meant for me, why is it meant for you? What makes you so special? And that's when people start to ask, like, what makes you so special? And it's not coming out of a place of hatred. Like I said, it just comes out of a place of lack of understanding, lack of love for themselves, and just highly, highly fearful of losing you, right? And that's why those toxic friends and relationships, whether friends, family, significant others, you have to let them go with grace and love, okay? Because it's either you gonna get on this bandwagon with me, or you gonna go. But I ain't gonna stop. Plain and simple. It's really just that simple, right? Like, when you are really serious about your life and you've seen the way people done things, especially your family, like your mother and father, for example, first and foremost, you see them working their ass off, and that's something that you never want to do, working 24 hours a day for the white man above. And you're like, you don't see that for yourself, right? There's nothing going to stop you from going after what you want. No matter if you fail 1,001 times, you're going to still go for 1,002, because maybe 1,002 is going to be that success story, right? You never stop going after your success, no matter what happens, no matter what no one says. When you're that serious, you don't care. You don't care if you fail. You don't care if they hate you. You don't care if they love you. You don't care if they're going to be there to support you. You simply don't care, because you want what you want, right? And so instead of people getting on that bandwagon with you and understanding that you're going to leave regardless, right? Instead, they just choose to hate you, to try to... I'm laughing because, boy, like, I real life went through this. Like, it's crazy. Like, they choose... Give me a minute. They choose to hate you. They choose to discredit your name. They choose to slander you. They choose to be like, oh, well, you're fake, and you don't want to be around us no more because you think you all that, and you think you this, and you, and it ain't, and you ain't even said any of that. Like, it's crazy how people try to put words in your mouth or thoughts in your head, right? You ain't never said anything like that. But let me tell you something. As a female who's grown up in school, in high school, middle school, no matter what it was, every time I was a new girl anywhere, everybody always was like, before I even say 2 words out my mouth, they're like, oh, she thinks she all that. Or who she thinks she is. Oh, a bunch of things that to say. Okay, and it was never me thinking I was all that. Honestly, I was thinking, why the hell did my mom move me for the 1,001 time? Like, little do people know exactly what I was even going through as a kid for me to even be thinking I was all that. Like, but people see you and they just see something different in you, and everybody want to with you, everybody want to talk to you, everybody want to be around you and stuff like that because you pretty and you the new girl and everything, and they go, oh, she thinks she all that. And it's like, little do you know, I don't even want to be here, so shut up. like, like, let's shut that down. People think you're all that. They think you're better than them, and they try to portray those insecurities onto you. Nothing personal, babe. People are literally just going through their own battles in their head, and it's a warfare in there. It's a warfare in people's heads, okay? That's exactly what that's about. So never take that personal, okay? Like I said, when people try to slander you, try to just never take it personal. Take it with grace. Okay, if you're spiritual, if you have a relationship with God, I don't know what type of audience I have here yet. But even if you don't, we're not here to judge. I truly understand. I even know other people who do not believe in God. I am a spiritual person, though. I do believe in the higher Father as He is. But even if you don't, that's cool. But if you do, just pray for those people, because that's all you need. They just need a prayer. Okay, we're not here to judge, and we're not here to slander back, because they already do enough of that. We don't need to add on to it. Okay? Now, I'm the type of person that you play with me, you gotta go. I'm not thinking 1, 2, 3. I'm not thinking twice. Now, don't get me wrong. If you come to me, apologize, we talk it out, I'm very mature. I'm very understanding. I'll let you back in. But the moment you do something shady, I'm letting you go. Right? But I do believe in growth. And I do believe people can change. I believe people definitely can change, right? So, like I said, if you talk to me, we talk it out and stuff like that. We have a mature conversation about everything. You can be in my good graces just by a simple conversation. Because it was never even that deep to me, right? Because I'm the type of person, even I don't hold on to hate. I don't hold on to negativity. I don't hold on to that stuff. I let it go, okay? Because we're not here to do that, right? So, but before, right, maybe you don't want to, maybe you're not a person like me and you don't want to cut off people immediately, right? Maybe you want to talk it out. You want to give them a chance. You want to see where their head is at because you really love and care about them. I mean, like, obviously, that could be the only obvious answer, right? I would always advise first having that conversation, right? And talking to them about how you feel, right? And what you want to first and foremost is see how people react. Right? And even if they react in a negative way, I'm not saying right then and there cut them off, but I'm saying, for one, when they act in a negative way, don't be negative back towards them. Right? The best thing you could do if you have nothing nice to say is just be quiet. And I'm really learning that. I'm really learning, Atia, if you have nothing nice to say, let's just not talk. Let's just walk away. Right? Let's just back away. And when everybody cools down, including yourself, because even though you ain't said nothing, does not mean that you're not mad. Does not mean that you don't feel away. Don't mean that you're not fired up right now. But you're going to back away and you're going to wait for them to calm down, and you're going to come back to the conversation and reevaluate it again and try to get down to our understanding, right? And the main goal is to have a conversation, and it's to understand one another and to set boundaries, right? Because that's the greatest thing that you can do in order to help a relationship, right? To help you not feel away is to set those boundaries and get them to understand, like, hey, when you do this, or when you say this, or when I mention that, or you say that, or you act this way, or if I call you and I need something, you're not there, but if you call me and you need something, you expect me to be there and I'm always there for you. Let's try to come to a solution when it comes to these issues that we have, so that we can have a healthier relationship, right? Because toxic relationships are obviously not healthy relationships. So if you want to keep the relationship together and you want to keep this person in your life, the best thing that you can do is try to talk to them and get you guys to come to some solutions in order to build from that point forward a healthier relationship, right? Cool. Now, understand that when you are trying to set boundaries with people, you have to have an immense amount of patience, because people are not going to get it the first time. They might not get it the second time, and they might not get it the third time. And if you really want this person in your life, you have to keep reminding them and implementing those boundaries over and over and over again. Because like I said earlier, people are used to the way that you were before, right? People are used to your old responses. People are used to your old habits. And it does not take somebody one simple conversation to fix up themselves, to understand your boundaries, to know exactly where they go wrong. Like, you ever talk about something and implementing a plan, but when it comes to like getting things in actions, like when you're actually getting things done, it's like way harder. It's way easier said than done, right? Like, that's exactly where that phrase even comes from. Just like, it's easier to talk about things, but when it's time to put your foot where your mouth is, we might be in a little pickle, right? And it might be tougher than you actually thought in your head, right? And so even then, right then and there, I don't want you to give up on a person that you really love and care about, that you want to have around you. Because like I said, maybe you're not like me. I can cut a person off in a blink of an eye and not give a shit. Okay? And not because I'm evil, not because I'm mean. I can honestly be the meanest person, but I am the most sweetest person in the world. You can ask anybody. But it's just a matter of, I care about myself too much in the most selfish way that I don't even have the patience to be going back and forth with somebody over boundaries right now. Either you get it the first time or you don't. I don't have the type of patience like that. But maybe you do. And if you do, that's perfectly fine. Great. You want to understand that they might not get it the first time, the second time, or even the 10th time. And so you have to keep reminding them where they need to place those boundaries, right? Where those boundaries were even placed, right? What the conversation was in the first place. Because when it does come time that they do something that kind of is about to cross your boundaries and you push back, they might feel away. They might get a little snappy. They might catch a little attitude. And that's for you to also step back, for you to be like, hey, remember we had this conversation, right? You said we ain't doing this. And you said you were okay with it. Now that the, opportunity to really understand what I'm talking about has presented itself, are you still okay with the boundaries that I have placed? Or do you feel like we should distance ourselves? Do you feel like we should no longer be friends? Are you okay with these type of boundaries and who I am becoming? Because if you are not, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm not going to stop becoming the person that I dream to be. Right? Because we should never put our dreams and goals or whatever on hold for someone. Simple. People should accept you for who you are, no matter what it is, right? And if a person really loves you and care about you through all your changes and all your trajectories and all your this and all your that, they're going to be there for you. So you have to really sit down with a person and ask them, I am becoming this person. This is what I want around me. This is how I want this. This is how I want that. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel that way. And so, like I said, now that the opportunity to really understand where I was coming from with these boundaries has presented itself, are you still okay with, what it is, right? Like, always understand, like, always communicate, right? You never want to assume something. You never want another person to assume something. You don't want to go, oh, well, we had this conversation. I thought we already talked about this. And so whatever, like, they're getting on my nerves. Like, no, you want to go back and revisit the conversation and say, hey, remember this? Remember that? Are you okay with it? Because, we had the conversation when it wasn't presented, and I think to you, it just seemed way easier said than done. But now we are in this situation. Are you fully understanding where I'm coming from? Are you okay with these things? Are you always going to have these fits? What should we do when you feel this way? Because I have implemented this boundary. You want to make sure that all parties walk away with the understanding, not only be understanding and understood, but satisfied with the outcome of the conversation. Plain and simple. You want to be a mature adult about how you go about things. But if you don't want to do that, like I said, you could just grab the scissors and cut them off. That's also an option. Let's say you are someone like me, right? Who just, whatever, I'm done. I want to cut everybody off anyway. Because that's how I was feeling at one point in time. Like, I just want to let everybody go anyway. Sometimes the universe, God, he send you signs, and he I understand you want to keep certain people around. Because I did low-key want to keep certain people around me, even in the season I am in now. But God be like, nope, I'm going to show you why they can't go with you. So either you hear me or you don't, right? So maybe you do cut people off. Maybe you have cut them off or whatever. You really want to sit with yourself. I do have a video on that lone wolf season, because you're not going to find friends in a bucket of a hat the next day after you drop all your friends, and for the whatever toxic traits that it is. Because let's say you had to drop all your friends. Like, let's say you had to let go of everybody. Let's say that's what it was, right? You want to really sit with yourself for at least a good period of time to get to know yourself, to self-reflect, to do some shadow work, to go deep within and heal those wounds that attracted those friends in the first place. Because, you know, your friends are also a reflection of you, whether you want to believe it or not, right? Your friends who have those habits that you can't stand, that are toxic, that keep going in the same circles, in the same cycles, they go through the same problems consistently all the time. Your friends are also a mirror of where you are and where you stand from within. And you really have to understand that. So if you don't like something within them, it's something within you you don't like as well. And so if you don't want to attract those same type of people around you after you done dropped your friends, okay, you want to go within, do some shadow work, do some healing, really begin to understand yourself and where you stand with yourself, and go, okay, what can we do to change these things within me so that I can attract a more positive group of friends, a more healthier relationship when it comes to friends, a more fulfilling relationship when it comes to the people that I am around, okay? So you really want to take that time out and focus on yourself for a while. If you're in a situation where you have to, when you realize that you have to let everybody go, because a lot of times you can't always sit there and point the finger, right? You attract the people that you do in your life. You are attracted to the people that you are in your life, whether, you know, it's platonic or a relationship or whatever. You are attracted to these people and have attracted these people for some reason that is within you, right? Because no one holds a gun to your head and say, oh, you have to be friends with these friends, or you have to talk to these family members, or it is literally your choice, especially as you get older. It's your choice who you have around you. And if you have certain people around you, it's because something within you feels fulfilled when they're around, or something within you attracts them, you know, to you. So you really have to go in within yourself and figure out whatever that is and just change that around first, because you are never going to attract a more positive, fulfilling, you know, maybe you want more friends that have a better work ethic, that, you know, wants to go places, that have, you know, the biggest dreams in the world just like you, because you want to work together and put your heads together and talk about things that are not just drama and women or men or social media, but you want to have innovative, creative conversations, you know, conversations that are about, just getting it together and how we're going to do this together and things of that nature, because it does always take a village, but you want to make sure you have the right village behind you, because if you don't, shit get loose. Okay. So yes, you really want to take that time and just do some shadow work. And it does get lonely. I'm not even going to sit here and BS you. I'm not going to be like, oh, it's going to be the best time of your life and you're going to have so much fun talking to yourself. I'm not about to sit here and BS you. It does get lonely. It gets very lonely, actually. And sometimes you might start to think to yourself like, dang, should I have cut these people off? You know, maybe I should have still had this person around, especially with social media these days. On every single app that there is, they always like to pull up on this day, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. You start seeing old snaps and old videos and pictures with friends that you used to talk to, family members that you used to be around, and events you used to go to and have fun and whoop, whoop, whoop. Let me stop you right there, though. That's not you no more, right? Those old memories that was 3, 4, 5, even a year ago, that's not you no more. That's not you anymore, right? So sometimes that lone wolf season can kind of, you can kind of manipulate yourself. Like, maybe I shouldn't have made those decisions, and maybe I should reach out, and maybe everything happens for a reason, and we don't live in regret, because living in regret doesn't serve us, right? Because what has happened already has happened. So we're going to let it go, right? If certain people are no longer in your life, it is for a reason. You have to believe that that reason is to serve you. Whatever reason that is, even whether you understand exactly what the reason is or not right now, it serves you, right? The universe is always working in your favor. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. We are not going backwards. We are going forward. Don't allow yourself to play with yourself in your head and talk to yourself and think maybe you made the wrong decisions, because you haven't, right? You may not see it right now, but you'll always see it in the end. And that's okay. You just got to wait it out. Okay. And like I said, that lone wolf season, that season when no one's around you, you don't got nobody to call, nobody's calling you to go out, and you know you don't have no friends to go out to functions with. Go out with yourself, treat yourself, love yourself, be with yourself, because then you really have the time to understand what you really do and don't want around you in relationships, right? So you can know that when you do meet certain people and you do see certain red flags, whether it's in friends or relationships, you go, oh hey, like I've seen this before, me ain't going for it. You don't gotta wait this time 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months or years to figure out what it was, because you already went through this and you know what this is like, and you know how this plays out, and you know how it's gonna end. So you're not even gonna waste your time or theirs, okay? And I'll just say that to say, because yes, it does get, extremely lonely when you start cutting off friends, especially friends that you used to speak to every single day. Like, it does get lonely, but at some point you get so comfortable within your energy, you get so comfortable being alone, that you might not even want to get no friends. And I'm not telling you don't do that now, because we do need a social life. It's very healthy to have a social life. Have a healthy social life. So at that point, you have to cut everybody off. You believe everything you have around you, and I hope that you have around you in the next season of nothing but goodness and success. And they'll also pick you up who they have around you. But they can also pick you around who they have around them. It just goes to show where they are. They are where you are. So that's okay. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning into this video. If you are a returning subscriber or a new subscriber, I love you guys. Okay, I'm having a blessed day. Don't be mean out there, okay? I'm trying to keep you up. Alright, but when you think about that, when you get content day-to-day, really like give them green, yellow, or orange. Green, yellow, or red. Green, they good. Yellow, they in the middle. We gonna do some extra investigation. Red, we need to talk. Okay, we need to get some things sorted out. Okay, or maybe you just want to cut them off, like me. I love you guys, and have a great day, okay? Bye.